My name's Timmy Joe. I make videos about computers up here on the internet. What's going on today, guys? We have a little quick check for you on a brand new case from FSP, available on Amazon, links in the description, all that jazz. And on Quick Tech, we try and talk about quick tech really quickly so that we're not wasting all kinds of your time. So I'll spend probably about 20 minutes talking about this case. Just kidding. Anyway, so this is a CMT340. It is a new case and a smaller form factor than some of their other previous cases. They have like kind of a line of budget cases, and then they have the CMT500 series, which is the 510 and the 520. And this one most looks like the 510. It's like the 510's little baby brother, and actually comes up about 12 centimeters or 5 inches shorter this way. It's a little bit taller, but there's not a lot of compromises considering the small form factor. Okay, so tempered glass in the front, tempered glass on the side, and we'll just pull this off. I like the way this comes off. It's nice. Oops, kind of like a normal side panel on any other computer. But, you know, you hold it and you don't necessarily get your fingerprints all over the damn thing, like, you know, the ones where you unscrew a few and it just flops all over to the side. Real easy to install. You grab the black bezel or, you know, the black little frame here, put it on, lock it together, it's stuck, you screw a thumb screw in, and you're done. It's really nice. Compatibility with like RADs and stuff, you could put an AIO in here. They say you could put a 360 in here, but you'd have to move the hard drive cage that's located in the bottom half of the case underneath the power supply shroud here. It's actually sticking out into the kind of fan area here, but they actually provide little screw holes so you can move it back. But even with a modular power supply like this, I would find it very hard to do. I got a nice FSP Hydro PTM 650 in there, and it's a regular size power supply, and to shove it back would really bend the modular cables sticking out of the power supply there. So I think that's a little presumptuous, but let's say you got a smaller form factor power supply, it could be done, but I'd stick with a 240 in the front. It comes with these fans, and we're going to talk about these fans at length in just a second. But while we're on the subject of cooling, fits a big nice tower cooler in there. That's an NHD 15 from Noctua. It's one of the biggest there are out there, and it fits in there no problem. I've had lots of cases where the tempered glass smushes up against this, and you know the little spikes you know stab into the glass. Not a problem. You can also put fans. There's a dust filter here, fans at the top. They say you can mount a rad up there, but I really don't think it's a good idea. It's going to be way too smushed. Maybe some motherboards it'd be easier than others, but just stick with the rad in the front, and you should be fine if you wanted to do water cooling. You got two 3.5-inch drive bays, and then two 2.5-inch drives caddies that slide in on the power supply shroud. I like that. Maybe you don't have nice looking SSDs or some old hard drives. It's not going to look as good. But, you know, I don't mind that they sit there on top of the power supply shroud. Full ATX case, too, even though the form factor is a little small. Fits in there like a glove, no problem. Had no issues at all. Might be a little bit better with the micro ATX case or motherboard in it, but it shouldn't be a problem. There's a good little fair bit on the back side to do cable management. There's some holes, no rubber grommets or anything, but with the small form factor and the size of the holes, they're big enough, but they're also small enough that you can't just see a wad of cables in the back, which is kind of nice, especially when you have lots of stuff like I do in here. Graphics cards that can fit in here up to 350 millimeters. So, you can pretty much fit any graphics card in this. I don't see there being a problem unless you have some monster or some, dual GPU solution. I don't see that being a problem at all. There's a nice little hole for the power supply there so you can show off your power supply if that's your thing. And, yeah. So, what's the problem? You see the fans, they look cool. I also think you've been hearing the fans the whole time. The fans look cool, and they're a selling feature on this because, at $100 this thing is priced on Amazon. There are a lot of competitors with, the same sorts of features from, bigger name brands, Corsair, Cooler Master, what have you, but their cases are going to come with 2 black case fans. This thing comes with full-on all addressable RGB. You can there's a header that you can take and plug a 3-pin, like the Shocker, into your motherboard, and then control the fans, instead of pressing the button up here with your motherboard. I actually really like this effect. It's like a counting clock of color. Anyways, there's about 40 different, I would say there's a good 40 different, depending on the speeds and stuff like that, effects you can cycle through with the button on there. And then, yeah, so what's the problem with the fans? Well, they're absolutely uncontrollable speed-wise. There's no PWM connector that plugs into one of your motherboard headers. They're also their own type of fan. They're like this little weird 5-pin connector that plugs into a fan header that's included with the case, and then it plugs in with Molex. So you're not going to be able to control the speed of the fans, and they're too fast, you know, for just daily use. They're audible. You can hear them. You know, you buy a case at $100 with 4 included fans, not to have to replace them. So it kind of puts me in a position where I'd have to say I'd give this case like a 4.5 out of 5 or a 5 out of 5 if it weren't for the you know, uncontrollable fans. They're pushing air. They're doing their job. They're by no means like super high quality, but they will get the job done. But at the RPM they're blowing at, which I think is north of 1500, I really wish that you could control them, you know, and that there's a circuit board back there that I'm sure has the ability. You could have grabbed a PWM signal off of it. I know that might make it a little bit more complicated, but I'd rather pay $105 or $110 and have that function, or you know, have it baked into the cost, than not have it at all and just be stuck at an audible fan speed. So let's go ahead and just prove my point. Go ahead and prove my point. As you can tell there, it's audible, and you know, there's no way to turn that off. But is it a deal breaker? No. And it's obviously, you know, worse because there's a fan right here that's blowing near my microphone. If you have this thing pointed at the back of your monitor, it's not going to be so bad. But in a room, it's definitely going to provide some white noise. Heck, maybe that might be your thing. I'm at Watch Timmy Joe on Instagram and Twitter. This has been a review of this CMT340. A really nice looking case, a really awesome, you know, $100 option. But without the speed control on the fans, I have a hard time recommending it unless, you know, that it doesn't bother you that you can, you know, it's nothing terrible. It's not going to rip your ears out, but, you know, you can hear it in a room. And filming with it, you know, over there, I can hear it in my edits, and I have to make adjustments appropriately. And, you know, if my, you know, the computer's mostly just sitting over there idle while I'm filming, I'm going to hear it. So I'll see you guys in another video. Thank you very much for watching the CMT 340. Amazon links as always in the description, and we'll see you in another video. I'll give this case a 3.5 out of 5 if I had some sort of rating system.
On the internet, Timmy Joe, he makes videos about computers on the internet. You betcha.